wasn't telling me about iron skillet, the guy already did, so I figured it was on your side.
Alright, let's get along now. They need to chill. Have a good day. We're gonna finish up a break. Okay, so had the radio going here and was just chilling out. Like always, there's always something popping off somewhere. And if you don't have time to weed through the internet to find out what's really going on, there's people kind of like me. Some of them do a good job. Maybe I'm not perfect and I don't do a good job of it, but let me kill this truck out here. Try to give you a heads up of what's going on in the world real quick. In my little corner of the world, on my little spot, in my little corner of the internet, on this Operation Hot Biscuit. So my Operation Hot Biscuit just got me a plate of food and coffee. I'm gonna let y'all in on some stuff that I've seen that's kind of odd. The US has a website where they release any credible threats to anything and any warnings that they have for the people, and they've evidently, and I'm the last to tell about this, so don't think I'm Chicken Little. All the other Chicken Littles have already talked about this. I wanted to bring it up because you should be aware of it. It is something that's up, and it's an actual report. I'll put a link to it when I get a chance. Might take me a day or so, but I'll let you decide whether it's a credible threat, something that you think is just a study on the situation of what could happen, or an actual credible threat. They made it like it was a credible threat to our power grid. Somebody evidently is messing around and wanting to do something to make us out of power, and they said that you should plan to be without power for however many months or whatever. So that's kind of crazy. I get that. I'm not the first to talk about this. I wanted it to be confirmed and reconfirmed and triple confirmed before I brought it up. And like I said, it might take me a little bit to put a link up to the exact article, or I'm sorry, the exact document, because it's actual notification basically to the people of the United States here. And so kind of crazy that they think that something might happen that's a threat to our power grid. In that event, I did want to bring up that I'm not, I say not yet, I doubt I'll be, but I'm not currently in any way sponsored by any stove making company or anything like that, or Coleman, but I'm going to say I've got an old Coleman stove. I need to do a video up on it. I keep everything in it. It works off of what's called white gas, which is a liquid, or you can fill up the tank with unleaded. You have to pump it up with a little primer thing to get pressure built to it, and then it burns. It just works. I wouldn't recommend using the tank for anything except for in an emergency situation. I don't use that for that. I use propane. There's an adapter for one for propane, and then an iron skillet. So I'll be showing some of that, but you should get some type of a 2-eye burner grill for your house that works off of propane out of a bottle in the event that you lose power, because they've called it a credible threat. And so, you know, I'm just putting it out there. Like I said, I'm the last person to even bring that kind of thing up, but it is real. So they're saying, the wording was this: start prepping for a power outage that may last, I don't know how many months they said. So having said that, I'm gonna go forward into what I was gonna talk about, because right now France, the exact thing that happened in France is this. They let a bunch of immigrants in, which have torn up the streets and stuff like that and left it trashed. Okay, fine. And then they found out it costs a lot of money to house them and give them money. So they have decided, since they've allowed their place to be open borders, They made the decision to spend all that money, and now they're like, well, how are we going to recoup that money? Well, the housing in Paris was already ridiculously high, and it went up more and more, and the people who work in Paris commute there from outside countryside places. They drive their car and they need fuel. They're already struggling as working poor, and on top of it now, their president has decided, Macron has decided to give them a huge fuel tax. They can't afford it. It's going to be too much gas for them to afford to go back and forth to work. So grandmothers, you know, middle-aged, middle-class, working class people took to the streets. So basically, boy, am I really going to have a photobomb? Yeah, I guess so. Here's what I'm going to do, because he's got all of his numbers there. Give you some fabric to check out. All of his numbers on the side of his truck. Don't run VIN numbers, people. Anyway, so what has happened is these people have taken to the streets, like I said, and they're grandmothers, older, you know, women, older men, and they're people that are trying to stand up for their country, right? France standing up for itself because the government has sold them out again. So the problem is that the police are actually using grenades against these people, that some have called them flashbang grenades, but the way I understand it is a flashbang grenade. There we go, he's already moved now. Well, he's still there. I'm not trying to get all his stuff on this. So basically, they're using grenades that are evidently strong enough to blow your arm off, because it blew this guy's hand off and his arm off because he tried to pick up a cooked off grenade and throw it back. And they have snipers that they showed one video of the sniper, and another guy on the other side of the I guess you'd call it the other side of the road or main thoroughfare from a different balcony. He took a video of a completely different vantage point where he didn't see the sniper, but he showed that there was a man standing in the street. You saw tracer fire, and then the guy goes down, and he says, I don't know if he's dead or not. He said this in French. He says, I don't know if this guy's dead or alive, but it looks like that he just got hit by a bullet from like a sniper. The flashbang grenades, I think, are stronger than what they're saying. Either way, though, the guy tried to throw one back, and it blew his hand off and his arm off, and there's video of that. I'll put a link to those too. I don't recommend that you should just take my word you don't want to watch it, but if you want to watch it, it shows him. And one, you know, link that I have is an article where it shows a picture, and I'm gonna show this guy's truck because it's all about the French right now. This is hilarious. Yeah, how can it be the French? I'm telling you. So yeah, and I'm brushing up on my French now because I speak Spanish and French, and the problem is I don't speak French as well as when I learned it. So I was learning some things, but so what's going on right now, like I said, is I'll turn that fan off back there. They have the one guy, like I said, just take my word on it. The guy blew his hand off because he picked up a cooked off grenade and tried to throw it back. Whether you don't want to, if you want to believe it as a flashbang grenade or what, if you don't believe that the sniper took the other guy out, I'll put links up to that stuff on this video. And later I'll put up a link to the other report, but I can do a quick link I can put up in a few minutes to the other two situations. The one where he picked up a grenade, tried to throw it back at the police, and the other one where the sniper got shot a guy that's just out there protesting. And they're all wearing yellow vests. You can't miss them. They've decided, it's kind of funny. Here, look, check this out. I've got a yellow vest in the back. I'm switching. This is my orange vest. I'm switching to yellow vest because I'm showing support for people in France. They're poor, they're standing up for themselves, and they're not doing the two-handed French salute. So, you know, they're standing up for themselves. But like I said, a sniper killed one guy in the street. I think that's to make others not want to protest. There's video of the snipers getting set up on a fire escape. That one guy snuck that video, and I've got a link to it. And I also have a link to you know, the guy saying, hey, he just got shot and I don't know if he's dead or not. He went down. He never got back up in the middle of the street. But there was other stuff going on, flashbang grenades, and the one guy that threw back the flashbang grenade. It's a video, pretty gory, of him running towards the camera, holding his arm, no hand, and it's bleeding and stuff, and it's like blown off, and he's screaming, and they tried to get him to the medic. These are just normal people like me and you who've been working for a living, and they've finally taxed them too much by trying to pass a fuel tax. And then Macron come out with some, I call it a half-ass, not even apology, just a video saying, oh, well, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. The French people are not taking it. Now, at this point, because they maced an older woman with some really strong mace, and they claim to have a chemical that's even stronger than that, that's their secret weapon is what they call it. I'll put a link up to that too, that they're going to use on their own people, just like the sniper, just like the grenades that they're throwing. Basically, this other chemical, what, chemical warfare? You know? So, real strong stuff. They're already using some messed up stuff, and they sprayed this woman with some stuff, and it messed her up, and she was an older woman, and so now all of the kids are taken to the streets in France. It's like Bastille Day Part 2, or Part 2, if you call it. Part 2. Un, deux, trois, deux. 2, Part 2. So they're standing up for their rights, and they're meeting bullets just for being in the streets, but they're wearing yellow vests. And I don't know if it's a law to have a yellow vest if you're protesting, or if it's something they're saying, hey, I'm not going to be missed, you can't miss me, I'm wearing the yellow vest, or what. But what has happened from there is I've heard that Irish people are even having some yellow vest protests of some sort. I have to look into that to confirm that. Also, Egypt has banned sales of the yellow vest, which makes it where I can't wait to find my yellow vest in this truck, because I've got my orange one, but I want to wear the yellow one now. You know, so show solidarity. So here's the thing. They, you know, on the Champs-Élysées, the Champion Avenue there, right, the Arc de Triomphe is at the other end. Anytime there's a war, people go through that. Those people are there, and they're standing up for their rights. And the kids have now, because that old woman got maced and got knocked down and kicked down and all this other stuff, they didn't like that. They're like, that could be my grandmother, and they're seeing this stuff. All the students were like out in the streets after that. This was 2 days ago or a day and a half ago. So even the students now have taken to the streets, because they get it, because they'll be working next, and their parents can't afford the place they're staying at. So the whole country's up in arms about this, and I think they're going to overthrow the place. I can't think of any other outcome. The French people are saying we're not going to take any more, and they've taken in all the immigrants that have trashed the place. And that's what the money's about, is paying for them, and that's what the extra gas tax, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But it was a big straw. It was a big tax, and these people can't afford to live in France, but they have to commute there for the work. And so that just, like when gas prices go up in the United States and it just about breaks people, it was twice that. And that's their only way to work. So they're like, well, might as well, you know, go ahead and protest now, because we're broke now. We're not going to make anything now. That's what's going on in France. So the regular news media outlets may glance over it, but they're not trying to show it to you and not trying to tell you what's going on. I'll put up the link to the dude with the cooked off grenade that blew his arm off, and then also the link to the picture of him as he had grabbed it, went to throw it before it blew his arm off, and the video of the grandmother that got maced, and all them people. I mean, the police are just pushing them down and beating them up. It's really rough. And I'll put the link to the sniper that shot the guy that's just out there protesting in the middle of the street, and then he falls. So as far as the power grid failure, they've warned against it here in the United States, that you should be prepping now. It said start prepping now. I'm like, okay. So I would advise Coltman stove with a couple of small bottles of propane that are only like $6 for 2, or $3.50 for 1, or something like that at Walmart, the little bottles. And one little bottle will last you 8 hours, or 8 times cooking, I would say. 8 times cooking, that's what I would say. Can't say 8 hours, 8 times 30 minutes or so. And get you an iron skillet, a flat iron that you can grill on, so that way you can boil water and grill at the same time, and boil vegetables. Simple as that. Radishes grow good if you got a plot of land you're wanting to grow something in the winter. Anything green, and carrots. So collard greens, turnip greens, you know, that stuff. Don't even try to grow lettuce. Corn takes too long. So get, they have prepper supply places for food, and I would say get some canned vegetables and some canned food stocked up. The power grid failure, you can't cook anything unless you have a stove, so get that. And then you're going to figure out heat. They have small mini wood burning stoves that you can figure that out. I'll tell you, it's kind of crazy. It's start prepping now, and then they give you no info. That's the info I can give you. I'm gonna show my grilling setup. I will do a video. I've been wanting to. I had to polish my back porch first before I wanted to even put it on camera. I'm like, who wants to show you grilling out and you got a nasty back step deck, you know, the catwalk. So I polished it, and so it looks a lot better now. So when I throw the grill up there, nobody's gonna make fun of me and say, hey, that's a nasty catwalk you're cooking on, right? So, but I recommend a 2-eye burner, not a grill, okay? And it is propane, and it cuts off quick, and then you don't have a charcoal fire to try to put out. But I keep a redundant backup of a box that you can burn those little things in that are like a little square, I don't know if it would be alcohol based or what, little square cubes that you can burn to cook on. I'll show all of my backup cooking stuff, because I've got like 5 or 6 ways to fuel a 2-fuel Coleman stove. You got the liquid gas, you got you could use unleaded gasoline, you got propane, but then you also have that you can put those boxes in there, and it makes it a little charcoal grill, so you could use charcoal, or you could use the little pellets things that you burn, the little square cubes, whatever they're called, that are little fire, it's not a fire starter, it's for grilling on. One lasts about, I think, 9 minutes. You can put 2 of them together, and then every 9 minutes throw another one in there if you had to finish up and you was out of propane. Or you could fuel it with sticks, wood, so you can have whatever kind of grill you want to have in your truck, you know, for a when it hits the fan scenario. I've got a crock pot in here, and I've also got a small crock pot for heating up soups and stuff, but then I use them. But you know, hey, if the power's out, you can't use a microwave in the truck stop either, right? And I would say keep your fuel on a high level, enough fuel to get you around. And that's just about it. If anybody wants to talk, I just want to tell about the alert that was brought by the government and what's going on in France. That's my breakdown of it, and why they're rioting in France, and why they're setting cars on fire in the street, and why the police are throwing grenades at them, and why they're shooting at them with snipers, which is crazy. And why that old grandmother got maced and stuff. She's just walking around, and the police maced her, kicked her down, pushed the other guy. It's pretty rough the way they're treating their citizens. So they're fixing to probably overthrow the government over there, and I ain't calling for that. They're already doing it. Anybody wants to say hello, say anything? I see I got like 2 in the room. I'm fixing to light up this cigar and finish it up. I'm having a Macanudo, and I really need to do the grilling video, but I really needed to polish my stuff first, because I didn't want it to look like crap, you know, grilling on a nasty catwalk. What happened was the guy, this is funny, this is what's funny, I told the guy across the street, he was at a polishing shop, and I asked him, I was going to get some mud flaps and put up different hangers. I went and asked him, I said, how much is it to polish my back porch, my catwalk, my back deck, you know? And the guy said $35. That pissed me off just enough so that when I came over here, I polished all my rims, polished my tank, and I polished that catwalk. I told the guy that story next to me, and he laughed like hell, so I figure I'll share that on here too. I might as well. Maybe you'll get a kick out of it. Yeah, so that's what you do. You go and ask a polisher, and it's a little bitty square piece of metal. So if you ask them for everything, they're gonna tell you $200. Now that should piss you off enough to do your own stuff. And I'm getting everything from everywhere, man. So they want me to work, people. I don't know. So I hope everybody's got plenty of cigars, because if we do have a power outage, it might give us a problem. You might not be able to get cigars either. Not everybody is set up like most truck drivers are. Not everybody understands other than going to Taco Bell at night or Kentucky Fried Chicken and just buying a bucket of chicken, or going to Walmart. Not everybody understands how much it takes to live for a week. Now, I would say, you know, I buy ice for my cooler and stuff, but outside of that, you have to have at least one 24 pack of waters, or a 28 pack of waters is what they come in, to survive for one person a week. Plus, I use about 2 1-gallon containers of water to wash my hands or wash my camp clean up when I'm grilling. Plus another couple of jugs if I'm washing up my rims to polish them first. But that's just on water alone. If you don't have any kind of a supply of water, if the power grid goes down, I don't know what's going to happen with fuel pumps, but I'm pretty sure they work off electricity, so the truck might have a hard time getting you the water to your stores. Then the store shelves are empty and it looks like Venezuela all over again. You know, that's a pretty cool setup. Now I'm gonna show you something. That dude's got it going on. I thought I had it going on. Ramp for a motorcycle. Let me show you what this dude's got. Get you a little go-kart car, one of those little that's what's up. We'll give you the view of this guy. That's prepping right there. You want to talk about prepping? You get a little extra car that gets like 300 miles a gallon. That's almost like work right there. But get the ramps out. If he tosses this car, this video will go viral. No, I don't even care if my videos go viral or not. I'm just trying to tell what's going on. Anybody in the room know anything more about the power outage that the government has sent us a warning about, saying that we should be start prepping now? It says start prepping now for power grid failure that would last months. If anybody knows more about that and wants to make a comment, you're welcome to. Or if anybody else wants to say anything. So I'm going to hit a fan switch to turn it off and we'll get my radio back going. I just wanted to bring that up and have a cigar. I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope you got, you know, plenty of water and food where you're at, and plenty of cigars, because you need them doing this kind of work. Let's turn this down. Fan. All right. Get to watch. See, this is what truckers do. This is work. You know, you think we just drive around. Somebody orders something, you got to be the one to do everything. Unloading I call them go-karts or golf carts, those little cars, smart cars. They're very, very dangerous as far as rollover, and they're so high speed they drive like a go-kart. Yeah. Kick back chilling in some warmer weather. Florida's nice. You're welcome to come on down to Florida. It's a lot warmer than a lot of places. Hey KF, that just rounded. Do you have your radio on? Because your right landing gear is a lot lower than your left. It's about to drag the ground. KF, you got it on? Hey, somebody walk over and tell him if you're on the row. He just drove around there, and his landing gear on the passenger side is lower than the one on the driver's side. The KF Express. Man, everything's happening at once, right? It's busy. It's about come in and take a break o'clock here. They're circling the wagons. This guy, like I said, you got a view of just one truck. I'm seeing people come by like right and left. I'm I'm wondering, is he delivering that car here for somebody, just moving LTL? Because it's kind of odd. I think that's a reefer unit. And it's like, what's he doing putting a car? I'm right, that's a reefer unit. It's a perishable car. It has to be kept cold. 32 degrees for freezing, and then or above 32 and 20 below for ice cream. I don't see any cold air coming out, so it's probably not an ice cream car. What are we doing, people? Where are y'all at? What are you up to? I got 2 people that I'm showing. Ain't no telling how many people's actually in the room. Sometimes they cut my numbers. I got a video on that, right? Proof of that. But I'll be putting links up to everything I've talked about. It's not me, it's the world that's on fire and doing crazy stuff. These truck stop cigars are like half good. I don't know what to say. It's just something to smoke. These Macanudos, I don't know. I need to find a cigar shop. I've got a Chupacabra. I smoked one on the border. It was kind of funny. It's kind of like a little irony. Smoking a Chupacabra on the border. A Chupacabra is an animal that they tell stories about in Mexico. That Chupacabra means literally, the translation is bloodsucker. Cabra, you know, being it's sucking blood, Chupacabra. And I've got a if I can find my box. I'm sitting here looking for my cigar box. That's never good. You can't find your cigar box. It's right here. So I've got a couple of cigars left, but I'm gonna have to hit a cigar shop. But I got good ones. So I got a Perdomo. No, I got more than a couple. I've got a Perdomo, I've got a classic punch, and a blonde colored Macanudo. This is what I'm talking about. I'll have to zoom out a bit. Oh, there goes the car. I'll let you watch that. I don't want to photobomb him doing his work with my cigar, but I'll show you the Chupacabra in a sec. That's crazy, right? Could you do that for a living? Would you have the guts to get in that little bitty car and he's got him steering it one way or another without getting it off that ramp? That takes skill right there, man. That's how you do it. So he's using a reefer unit to LTL, and I guess that's his delivery. Awesome, right? Or he's just going for lunch. I don't know, right? You never know with a truck driver. We could be doing anything. Hey, I got the motorcycle on the back, right? Whose is that? Oh, it's mine. You know, you never know what we're up to. So if you see me get on my motorcycle and roll it down a ramp off my back of my frame, I'm not hauling that for nobody else. That's for my own enjoyment, so I can go and get cigars when I want to, right? Out of hours, get you a go-kart, put it in the back of your car, in your truck there, check it out. That's a real car. It's just what I call a half car. So, and the ramps can fit under your trailer. They have a way to put those ramps up. I got a friend of mine with big fiberglass ramps that are different than that. It's all fiberglass set up. So if you want to move a car, that's how you do it. Oh, I'm fixing to get photobombed by a big truck right here. It's break time. So while they're sitting there with that car, here's the Chupacabra. I'll have to zoom out a bit, I believe, to pick it up. We'll see. Let's see if this will pick up. This is it. I'll tell you the name of it first. It is a Esteran Areres Chupacabra Hellcat. I'll start from the bottom where it says Hellcat, if I can. What we got? Oh, it may be hard. Let's get a flashlight. I'll put you on it. So, like I said, this was a decent one. I'm not going to rate it until I get 2 of them. See, it says Hellcat. No lie, it's a chupacabra. Let's see where I can get focused at. It's hard to focus. Really hard to focus. Anyways, CHUPACABRA, chupacabra. Okay, and it is a Esteran Carreras. That's the label. Like I said, it's horrible, my setup. I've got to get my mount set up on the top. I didn't have time to. So it's a decent smoke. It's imported, and that's all that matters. I'll get is probably from, I would want to say Nicaragua, but I'll have to find out. But the end of it, the cut on it is like a really rough cut. If you can see, it's a really rough cut. It looks to be long tobacco, not real tight packed. It should be a decent draw, and it's a good stick. So if you're looking to go looking for one of these, just ask for the chupacabra. And this is almost a Churchill length box press, which makes them taste better. If they're square, cigars taste better. I swear to you, I'm not lying. It took me a while to figure that out and learn that, but a box press just tastes different. The Java by Drew Estate is a box press, and it's a real good one. But so it's a well-made cigar, and I'm going to give an actual rating on it. But right now, you know, hey, old standby Macanudo. So yeah, so that's what's going on in the world. Was the people in France are revolting against the government, and they're going to take it over, and they're going to overturn it, and they're getting shot at for doing it. And our government in the United States wants us to prep for a power outage of the entire grid. Start prepping now. No lie, people, it's real. So you can look that up, or I'll try to get a link to it when I can, because I'm a busy person and I work for a living. But I want to talk about stuff that the media tends to glance over, glaze over, or not talk about at all. And that's why I started the Operation Hot Biscuit, because they had Operation Hot Musket that we weren't supposed to talk about. So I said, okay, I'll start my own operation. You guys are welcome to talk. I'll be here for a couple more minutes, then I'm gonna split. I will say this, we are still free, and the flag still flies when you wake up and look out of your truck in the morning. I try to keep a good view of the flag. This one's still flying. So we have not been taken over by an enemy, and we are still in good standing because it's not flying upside down or at half mast. I always watch for that. I ask what's going on. If you see a flag at half mast, somebody's being honored for what has happened, and there you go. It's getting pretty rough in the border areas. It's just getting pretty rough. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. They moved the one migrant camp to another place 100 miles away. There was some holdouts that got mad about it. There's some groups like BAM that are trying to egg people on, and nobody likes what's happened to Mexico. They've trashed the whole place, and they don't appreciate the food they're given. They said that beans and rice is for dogs and pigs, and that's messed up, and that made a lot of people mad. I like beans and rice, in case you don't know. I've got videos up on charro beans for days. Yeah, people, so I'll put this up as a video. Anybody wants to say something, raise your hand. You're free to speak. You got that freedom in this country. Even if you're from another country, you can speak on my videos. I'm gonna get off this thing, just giving you a heads up. Prep for a power outage. That's what your government just told you to do. I don't know why, unless it has something to do with the people that might or might not be in Colorado, and might not be from Russia, and might or might not be trying to take down our grid. And I might or might not have told you about that, if you know what I mean. No lie, people, there's some crazy stuff going on, and people are not nice. So if it's something that has gone on and they cannot stop, we're supposed to be prepping for it. That's what's up. Get a Coleman burner stove that works off of several different redundant fuels, 5 or 10. Get a bunch of MREs or MRE type meals. I will tell you the barbecue is decent, and people tend to like the peanut butter for the little snack that comes in there, the peanut butter. So, and this is not going to turn out well for me. I can assure you of that. I'm fixing to get run over, people. Hope you're having a good day. Okay, thank God he decided. Jeez, I thought he was backing up. Oh boy. So, you see how things can go bad real quick, trucking? You got to be ready for it. Man. But they have companies that will give you like 100 meals or 100, they call it 100 days for $100. I don't know how, I guess that's $1 a meal, I don't know, that are supposed to be able to be stored for 25 years, and people buy that stuff. Me, I'm gonna hunt for food. You won't see me. I'll be in a tree looking down at a deer, and then I'll be somewhere in Kansas buying buffalo, or at a processor buying deer meat. Get the good stuff. Some people don't like that. Some people are, stuck on vegetables. Hey, if you're a vegan, I want to ask you where your tofu is going to come from if a truck can't bring it in a power outage. Do you have a stash of tofu? Anybody? Are the vegans going to beat each other up and go door to door to get their tofu? That's a question. That's a real question. If they need it and they gotta eat it, or are they gonna eat poke salad? Now, Elvis wrote a song about Poke Salad Annie. You can look that up. It's a real thing. Poke, P-O-K-E, salad, S-A-L-A-D. There's 2 ways of having it. They say it's poisonous if you don't cook it by boiling it. But there's another type that you can eat as a lettuce on a salad. I've had it. It looks like just a normal garden weed, grows leaves on it, and I would want to know for sure if it's the right type or not. You want to learn all that knowledge, go on YouTube and look up poke salad, and someone will teach you what it looks like and how to go get it. You can eat dandelions, the roots. You can eat marigold, I believe it is, flowers. Let's see, what kind of flowers can you eat? Man, just about any of them. The petals, you can eat them. It's a very aromatic for a salad, but you can eat them. Wash them up good. Might have parasites on them. Okay, keep that in mind. There's a salad wash you can buy for that, for those kind of weird things. Get a salad wash. So people in Europe, one lady made a book on just stuff that you can eat because they were having an economic problem there and they didn't have jobs. They sent a lot of their jobs to over different countries that were in the EU, and a lot of people in England did not then have jobs. The steel mills closed, all that business dried up, and they had no more jobs. So they started eating things like dandelion and roots and different flower petals. Why do I want to say marigold, but there was another flower that they ate a lot of, and they made salads. Look that up. The lady wrote a book on it. It's like a recipe book for picking flowers and making them into a salad. Yeah, there's a lot of learning that people are going to have to catch up on in the event that we do lose power. They already say that if that happens, there's been studies on how many people would die, and the numbers is in the millions, and it's talking about a high percentage of our population because people are not smart enough they're not educated in the manner of taking care of themselves, other than going and buying canned goods that are already made, and they're all working on a budget like we all are. And so you can't go on YouTube when the power's out, so you better learn what you can eat that's in the wild now, what kind of berries you can eat. Actually, you can make a tea out of pine needles, and that gives you vitamin C. Now, I'm Cherokee. That's how I learned that. There's a thing called yellow root. Look up yellow root. You can chew on that. And it's like a medicine. It'll make your teeth yellow, but it's yellow root. You can make elderberry wine, muscadine wine, scuffadine or scuffernong wine, or just eat them right off the tree. I used to climb up in the vines of trees and get muscadines and scuffernongs or scuffadines. We call them muscadine scuffadines, but it's really a scuffernong. Man, you got to learn what you can get in nature that's out there, or you could starve to death. Potatoes grow. That's something that replenishes itself. Put a potato in the ground and take another one out, kind of thing. You can grow those in car tires. If you clean the insides of car tires, fill them up with dirt, at least 3 car tires or 4 car tires high, and it gives them a place to root and grow, and it's easy to dig them out. That's a little trick you might not know. And if you're in the woods, moss grows on the north side of a tree. That might help you to get out. There's a lot that people like. That's why people are going to die, is they don't have all this knowledge. They go into the woods. Some people will go into the woods and they'll come out with something to eat. The other part of the population will go into the woods and they'll never come out. That's just the truth. So how do you prep for a power failure? Power grid going down? You learn some of the stuff I'm talking about. You learn how to hunt. And you go from being vegan to a carnivore pretty quick. That's how that's going to work. If you want to say anything, debunk this, give me a hard time, say hello, hey, hi, how you doing, whatever you want to say. I'm just chilling, having a cigar. Like I said, a couple minutes, I'm going to get out of here. I got nothing else but that, because an update on the border right now would be they've had a few that have tried to get around it, quite a few that have been arrested for it, and Mexico's sending a lot back on their own because they're tired of it. They've got them in a new shelter, and they are calling it a limited time. They're saying this is only going to be open for a limited amount of time, and then we're going to give it back to the people of Mexico. They do not plan to house those people very long. And I've heard rumors that they opened up, and this is just rumors, that they released inmates in California from prison so as to make room for expected more people that were dangerous criminals that were coming across the border, if that tells you anything. So that is going on the border, but I'm going to look into some more things that I've seen. I've got to make sure, like, substantiate, make sure things are true and that are factual. Some things that I've heard, but I've seen some crazy things, and there's some things that you people are not ready to even see with your eyes about what's actually going on in Mexico. They're taking people out down there, and they do videos on it and put it on the internet. You can look that up for yourself. I'm not going to put a link to that. Okay? You're going to have to believe me that it happens, that it's real, and that's why we're building the border wall, and that's why everybody will tell you we need that wall that has any clue about what's really going on. You think you know what's going on. They can't possibly show you what's going on. But if you want to Google it, I'll go ahead and tell you this. Look up beheaded in Mexico. That should take you to it. There's several videos on what they did to a person who was living, who is currently not anymore living. Basically, they cut them up. There's a reason for the border wall. You can be a peacenik if you want to be, but there's a good reason to have border security. I'm about to get off this thing. Anybody wants to say, hey, hi, how you doing? Make a comment. Prep for a power outage. Just knowing that the government is the one that sent you the credible threat. I didn't. I'll link to whenever I find it. But for right now, I'll put the links to the dude that lost his hand and all that stuff, throwing a grenade in France. and what's going on with France. They don't get my time. I don't deal with grimy drivers, man. Look, grimy drivers, you get no airtime. So it's not a matter of hate, it's just about the way they acted towards me. I don't like grimy drivers. Everybody's different. You got anything to say? Hey, if you work for grime, that's cool. You welcome on my channel to say whatever you want. I just personally don't like the way a few of them acted on the internet. It wasn't right, it wasn't true, it wasn't proper. I call it propaganda, the way they're acting. It's all about that and not about real drivers or actually teaching or anything. And I found it to be an issue. The way they talked to me, or didn't, they wanted, you know. I think it has something to do with that truck that hit the fuel aisle. I think they don't like it that I put that video up. That's just me. I could be wrong. So maybe they're just jerks in their own right, the ones that were that way. Not all of them. Not all of them. Just the ones that were doing that little deal on the internet and want to be rude. You just want to say, hey, how you doing, and hello, and then they want to act like you're not even there because they don't like what you're doing. So it's like, whatever, dude. I got my own channel. I can go live in my own right. No worries, I could care less. I could care less about any of this. I put up what I want to put up. If people don't like it, they can kick rocks, man. I really don't care. People find value in it. The ones that really appreciate the fact that I'm putting stuff up, I appreciate them. The ones that don't, they're still welcome to watch because they're still learning regardless of whether they like it or not. I've seen them copy my videos. You think I don't know about that? You think I don't know that 2 months later you did the exact same video with the exact same stuff, talking about, hey, I've never done this before, but check this out. Yeah, we've been doing it for years. I'm just a trucker that's been doing it for years, and I don't mind. I'm glad they're teaching someone else that maybe wouldn't be subscribed to me, but it would be nice if they would mention my name once in a while. Hey, look, this is where I really learned it. They're not gonna do that. So I don't know why that is. I tell where I learned stuff, and I'll show you links to stuff. It's really an odd thing. I find it to be odd. People don't give credit where credit's due anymore. It's a whole new class of people, I guess. Get a CB radio. That's one thing for sure. Communication would be best. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get off this thing. Y'all take it easy. Have a good cigar. I am at the last third of this, and I'm just gonna call this a Macanudo from a truck stop, because there's a big difference. Massive difference. It is a smoke. It's a decent smoke, but it's not your best smoke. This one right here, I'm at the last third of, and I'll show you what they are. It's better than having nothing, and I want to say the pilots have them, and I also want to say that I think that Petros have them, maybe even Loves, and I'll take this one out of the wrapper, but I'll show you the golden label that you're looking for. Macanudo. May need to hit a light on that too. That is the hardest thing, is to get one of these. There's the angle. So like I said, I don't know a good way. There we go. Macanudo. It's a decent smoke. I give it about a in the world of cigars, I would give this a good 6, maybe a 7. On a day when you ain't had a cigar, it's nice to have. You might even give it a higher rating. But there are way better Macanudos at actual cigar shops. Go to a cigar shop. The government says that you need to prep for a power outage. I'm telling you, you need to prep for a cigar outage. Go to the cigar shop and get you some. Yeah, take it easy. I'm fixing to get off this thing. Anybody want to say anything else? I'm fixing to go. Y'all got it. You got the floor. Nothing. You got nothing. Type what you type. I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, y'all stay safe. I'm out. Gotta ride. Peace.